Everybody calls me Ox.
Okay, Ox. Nice to meet you. I'm Weenie. You can call me Greg or Weenie, whatever you'd prefer. How's it going today?
It's going very well. Profitable day so far.
Nice. Yeah, that's awesome. Were you what did you trade today?
Actually, I took two good trades on copper today.
Oh, really? What's the futures
Yeah,
contract for copper?
it's 12. Yeah, I'm sorry, 12.50 a tick, just like ES.
Oh, I mean like what's the symbol like for
Oh, I'm sorry,
copper?
HG.
Oh, HG. Interesting. Futures. I'm just kind of curious because I've never seen nor traded copper. You're very into the futures space, correct?
Yes, I am.
Yes. Oh boy, I can't even find it here. We'll find it at some other point. That's awesome. So for those of you guys that don't know, Ox and I were kind of just talking to each other. We had a subscriber come on my stream saying, "Hey, like Ox does streaming, he does futures trading, so do you, Weenie. We both have like the same subscriber base. It'd be fun to do a collab." And I agree. It's always good to just market and talk with new people, network, and just see what's up. So, Ox, how long have you been trading? Like, tell us a little bit about yourself for the Weenie Trades subscribers that don't know.
I've been trading. I started kind of teaching myself to trade with YouTube and all that about 2 years ago. It was actually born out of a little bit of personal tragedy.
Oh, really?
I
What
always
was
had it.
that?
Well, uh,
If you don't mind me asking.
no, that's fine. A couple of years ago, first of all, I'm a type 2 diabetic, got an infection in my foot, moved fast, long story short.
Oh no.
I ended up having a lower leg amputation. And that was right before the whole COVID thing. I was in a rehab facility waiting on a prosthetic so I could learn how to use it.
Yeah.
And so COVID hit, supply chain issues. One of the weirdest sentences you'll ever hear is your foot's on back order. And so I got bored of just doing nothing. I always had kind of an interest in trading. So I started using that time there to start learning about it more and trying to get into the whole day trading thing.
Yeah.
Started with stocks first, but I didn't have a lot of money, obviously.
Mm.
So PDT rule is a frustrating thing,
Oh
and
yeah.
and you know, not being able to go short if you have less than a certain amount of money and all that other stuff. So eventually, I heard about the funding programs of futures. So I
Yeah.
moved over to futures, and that's been where I've been since.
That's awesome. Yeah, I didn't really even know about the futures funding thing until 2022, and I've been trading for 5.5 years, and so it's all new to me, and I certainly enjoy it as well. I just love the liquidity, the way that you can trade and express your ideas so fast compared to stocks and options. It just takes a while. So
Yeah.
you had all this extra time. You're really getting into trading. You said you were kind of always interested in trading. What was the kind of the first point where you noticed you were interested in trading, like earlier in your life? Like how did you
Well,
first hear
e-
about
e-
trading?
Well, even back in the day, way back in the day, when they used to, like when I was a kid, I would even look at like in
Oh,
the newspaper and look at the various like local companies and stuff and watch their stock prices.
no
But
way. That's awesome.
I never really had any money to get into it at all throughout
Hmm.
my life. But then, of course, like things like Robinhood started coming out. And so I started getting dabbling a little bit here and there, but never really got, jumped in until figured, maybe I can make something good happen out of the bad and situation.
Oh yeah, that's always the thing we need to do in life is you have to make the best out of every situation, find a way to push through, and really just find your passion as well, which trading it can be a really good passion. And it can be tough sometimes. I'm sure you've had some days where it's just red, 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 and it's like, gosh, what's going on with the market? But because of those red days, it makes you really appreciate those green days or green streaks. And so
Yeah.
yeah, that's really awesome to hear. So you like what are some of the futures that you trade? Because I've been trading futures for about 2 years, and really only the last year I've really stepped it up in terms of futures. So like what's kind of like your like favorite thing to trade in futures?
I trade a lot of NQ, but
Hmm.
NQ can be so wild that
It's
I've been
violent.
trying to maybe move to YM lately. I
And
was
that's the
trying to trade
Dow,
off.
correct? YM?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
right.
What
And I've been also trying to maybe move to a higher time frame because trading NQ off a 1 minute chart is like insane.
Oh, I
But
know.
also copper is another one of my favorites. I got away from it for a while, but I've been back to it. And like in the last week, I've won 11 out of the last 12 trades on it. So
Oh,
copper's
that's
another thing
awesome.
that and everyone's like, you trade copper? Well, why? But it's just something I've gotten into that it seems to move well for me.
Wait, I just want to make sure. Can all you guys hear Ox well? Can you guys hear him well? I just want to just double check in the chat. So you traded copper. Copper is HG. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
ask, can you hear well? Like just want to make sure the audio and volume's all good. Oh, nice. Freighter subscribed to you. That's a big deal because Freighter's a very picky person, and so that means a lot if Freighter is subscribing to you, just so you know.
I appreciate that, Freighter. Welcome and thank you.
Yes. So that's awesome, man. Like copper, and you can trade like things like wheat as well. Like you can trade gold, silver. Do you like what would you say is kind of like your main strategy when you're trading futures? Like for example, when I'm trading futures, I've noticed that I just like the next like 3 to 5 minutes. I'm scalping. I'm cutting immediately if it goes against me. And I'm always trying to scalp out like 80% of my trade and then leave 20% on. So the commissions are really high for me, but my accuracy and profitability can be really high when I scalp. So like, what's your style? I know you use the brackets, it was more of like a wider stop, a wider take profit I've seen on some of your streams, but if you could just give an overview of what do you look for when you're trading futures?
I'm looking. I mean, my setup is simple. Now, first of all, let me just say that I'm not yet a consistently profitable trader. So,
It's
but
a tricky thing, and that's really important for that's gives you a lot of respect in my opinion, because there'll be a lot of people that'll be like, yeah, I'm profitable, and then they'll just string people along, versus it's much more real and better for the audience when you say something like that. So that's awesome. But yeah,
oh
but with
yeah,
that
I
being
mean,
said, what were you saying?
yeah, I'm totally real with everybody. I mean, there was like one day I was having a really bad day, and I just blurted out on stream, "I hate trading."
Oh yeah,
So yeah,
we've
so
all
I'm
been
like,
there.
yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I'm always very honest with everybody. I have my P&L up on the screen at all times so everyone can see what I'm doing that day, whether it's good or bad.
Yeah, much respect for that. That's awesome.
But mainly when I'm looking to enter a trade, I have an EMA on the charts that it turns colors when it's uptrending or downtrending. So I'm looking for a candle that breaks as the color turns. And then I look at other things. I look at where it's at, the price action's at, how close are. Like I have Bollinger Bands on there too. I know old school, but
No,
if it's
those are
too
good.
close to the band, too close to the bands, I won't take the trade. Or looking just at what's the chance that we're gonna just hop down and then reverse back,
Yeah, do you
and
like
then
to, so do you take mean reversion trades at the edge of the Bollinger Bands, or do you kind of follow the trend of the Bollinger Bands?
mostly I'm following the trends. I do
Okay.
have a couple indicators where I'm looking at reversals as well, but I don't do that often yet because I'm not confident in it at all yet.
Yeah. Have you like practiced any like strategies in a sim account or anything like that?
Yeah, I do sim occasionally,
Mm-hmm.
but mostly, I mean, I back test a lot, but on the weekends, what I'll do is I'll go in the I have a trade. I use TradingView for most of my charting, and
Nice.
I'll go back through the entire week on multiple assets and kind of chart out what trades I would have taken to see what kind of win rate I should have gotten if I had taken all of the trades, etc. And most of my issues of not being a consistent trader isn't really my strategy; it's my psychology, not being
Psychology and
confident.
emotions. Hold it, but
Yeah,
would you say like maybe holding to target sometimes, where you initially set out a profit target and then it's on the way there, and you're like, ooh, but I could take $100 right now.
right. It's it's like whenever I decide to just let it go to target, then it will go $100 in the profit, then reverse on me. And if I don't let it go to target, I quickly take the $100, and it ends up going to target, and it's just like either way, I see that. But I'm like, I tell myself, because almost all my trades start off in profit. It seems like I'm like, well, if you cut them
Interesting.
all, you would be doing really good.
So
But
your
I don't know.
entries are good, but they're either not going to target and then they're hitting the stop or something like that, right?
Right, and I mean, I jump out too early. I do
Yeah,
jump like yeah,
I
and
do too.
most of the time I'm only using one contract, so it's not like I jump out with one and leave one there. So
Yeah, are you
if I,
one E mini or one micro?
one mini,
Mini,
if I'm
okay.
using if I'm using micros, then I usually do anywhere between 2 and 5. But
Yeah,
with minis, I'm only doing one
yeah.
because these funding programs, you don't have a lot of leeway and risk
No,
often,
not at all.
especially if you have that constantly trailing drawdown like Apex and all that. So
Oh yeah, yeah. I developed a whole new trading strategy just for Apex, and it's just enter the stop, and then just trail up the stop. Just keep ratcheting it up because that trailing threshold will get you. Now, I have a quick question. So I'm very familiar with the Apex. I've got a funded account. I've got a few evaluation accounts. But what with other programs, what's kind of usually the rules? What's your experience with other programs other than Apex? I've only traded futures on Thinkorswim and then with NinjaTrader. So have you had any experiences with any other brokers or funded account programs?
yeah, I'm doing evals with Earn to Trade, and I'm doing eval with Tick Trader.
Okay.
And see now both of them offer end of day drawdown instead of that constantly trailing drawdown that Apex has.
Can you
So
explain the end of day drawdown to anyone who doesn't know? And I don't even think I know. What's the
well,
end
like
of day drawdown?
in other words, if you made, let's say in a day you made $10,000 and then you lost that $10,000 in that same day, your drawdown doesn't move. Unlike
Interesting.
with Apex, if you made $10,000, your drawdown moves that $10,000, and then if it pulls back $5,000, even if it was a profitable trade, you're done because you hit your trailing drawdown.
Yep. Yeah,
But
that happened to
but
me on one of my evaluation accounts where I had made 2,000 but then lost 2,500. I'm only down 500 from the top, but the evaluation account had failed. And so it's like that's really important to note.
but yeah, end of day drawdown is a lot easier, in my opinion, because
Okay.
you're not worried about you can let a runner run, and if it pulls back on you, it's not going to hurt you.
Exactly. Very well said. Now, one of the other things though that I do enjoy about Apex is once you've gotten funded and you get past the evaluation and you're funded and everything like that, the trailing threshold actually goes away, but you have to build a really big cushion. Like you've got to build
Right.
like a 5 to 10K cushion after you're funded before, but it does eventually go away. So what helped me really get through it is just like, okay, this is just a temporary trailing threshold. I've just got to be a sniper trader
Yeah,
for this next month, which is easier said than done. That's for sure. And yeah, the link is pinned
absolutely.
up top to Ox's trading channel if you guys are interested and want to check him out. Watch him while I'm not streaming, or we can do collab streams if you ever want. I don't know about you, but I tend to trade really well when I have like a partner, like a tag team person working, like if I'm on like the same on the same Discord call with somebody, I can really bump up my numbers just because it's nice to just have another voice there. But just a
Uh,
potential idea in the
yeah.
future.
Oh, absolutely. I've never tried it. I've only ever streamed, just me. So I'm always willing to try something new.
Oh yeah. We can always get in contact and schedule a day for that. But yeah, how's it going, you guys? Do you guys have any questions for Ox over here? So we talked about streaming and trading. Have you ever like gone through a little bit of performance anxiety streaming while trading, or are you confident all the time? A little bit of both, or what are some of the things that you've experienced streaming and trading? Have you ever traded without streaming?
Yeah, I mean, I'll often continue trading after I get off the stream, but
Okay.
I don't really have performance anxiety. I mean, sometimes if I take a really stupid trade, I feel embarrassed.
Oh yeah.
But you know, I find that if I'm on stream, I'm less likely to take a stupid or risky trade because I don't want to
Yeah.
do that in front of an audience.
Yeah. I
But
agree. There's kind of that accountability factor from all the eyes watching you.
See, now I've had a couple of OG traders tell me that streaming is too distracting. You're never going to get funding. You're never going to be consistent as long as you're streaming. It's way too distracting. You
It
got to
is.
decide whether you want to be a streamer or a trader. And I don't agree with that at
Yeah,
all. You know.
I agree somewhat with that, but I think that you can get better at both. It'll just be slower for both of them. It'll just be slower. It'll just take longer. But if it's something that you want, I think it's very fruitful and well worth it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I've met a lot of great people. You know, there's a lot of good people in my stream, good traders that everyone's trying to help one another. And you know, even if somehow this trading thing never works out for me, which I really believe it will, even if it never does, I'm happy with the fact that I've met some very good people.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, the internet has a lot of great people, and they come to your stream, and you create a culture and a community. That's what trading's all about. Is everybody's looking to sharpen their skills. The market's kind of like a puzzle. I like to think of it as, and if you solve the puzzle right, then boom, you get paid, and that's super exciting to me. And so yeah, I'm glad that you find those same aspects the same. Well, then I have another quick question. Then and you don't have to answer if you don't want to. But so if a lot of if futures, if you want trading to really be a part of your life in the future, what kind of are you doing in terms of an income source or side income sources, if you don't mind me asking? Because I'm always curious about how people kind of just generate income for a living. A lot of people do it in different ways, a different combination of ways. A lot of people go with the traditional job route, and I have two, and that's great. Other people have multiple side businesses, or sometimes they drive Uber and trade, or do this and trade. So do you like, what's kind of like your like way of living, if you don't mind me
Well,
asking?
I for the last several years I've been doing just various ways of earning on the internet.
Oh, nice.
Things like I doubt you ever heard of it, but like Amazon's Mechanical Turk, which is
Oh,
somewhere people, requesters post different types of jobs, anything from data entry to voice recording to
oh
a whole
wow.
bunch of other types of stuff. And so that's been
That's cool.
big, but I also do a whole bunch of other little things and little programs like surveys and things like that. And that's been my main thing where, kind of
Nice.
putting that all together, and that gets me by. But that type of thing, that's, another thing that, with trading, why I've started focusing on trading is because that's been starting to get a little harder as time goes on.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've actually, I became, I don't want to say famous, but Reddit famous on
Oh, really?
a subreddit called Beer Money, where
Ooh.
every month I post my earnings report, and it, helps people figure out what programs are working and paying and all that.
That's so
And
cool.
from that, I actually started my own subreddit based on the whole trading thing to help people maybe try and find this space,
Mm-hmm.
find the funded programs, and try and figure out whether or not trading might be for them, to try and let them maybe get more control over their own lives if they're willing to put in the work and the effort to learn.
Yeah, very well said. I'm really interested in this site. I'll have to reach out to you and grab a link and check this out, because it sounds really lucrative, really interesting, and a great tag team for trading and streaming. And just I just enjoy like trying and doing different things, meeting new people, and that just sounds right up my alley.
Absolutely.
Man,
It's, I mean, after all these years though, that type of work that I've been doing has kind of gotten mind numbing.
really?
You know, I want to get away from it as when I can, you know, because I mean, it's repetitive, put it that way, after a while, and
Oh, I'm
it's
sure.
definitely not exciting.
Yeah, but you know, it's sometimes things just need to be a little bit more boring, just to, you know, get the bills paid, get
Oh
shit
yeah.
done, you know.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely. I mean, I feel really blessed that I found and that it's, you know, worked for me all, you know, all these years. It's just time to work on moving on.
Yeah, definitely. And the whole world is moving much faster each and every year. Industries are constantly changing, just as the markets are constantly changing. You know, some days there'll be wide range days, some days there'll be narrow range days, trend days, consolidation days, and that's kind of just like the whole world and the job market. Sometimes there's a new hot topic, sometimes the old thing stays. But
Absolutely.
well, we do we have any questions from the chat? We got one was, what's your favorite futures trader evaluation company? What's your favorite futures trader evaluation company?
And that would be earn a trade.
Earn to trade.
Don't
Okay.
Yeah, just don't tell my stream sponsor because I'm sponsored by a rival company.
Oh, I mean that's fine. Say what's on your mind. That's you know, no worries. Okay, so earn to trade, and why is that your favorite one? What's kind of the rules? What's the ways?
Well, they the end of the
funded?
day drawdown, and they're really, I mean, they're the first ones I really found. I mean, I started with Top Step first; they're the biggest,
Top
but
Step.
Earn a Trades, yeah, Earn a Trade is, you know, they have decent rules. They, you know, they have the end of day drawdown. They have, you know, I mean, it's not much different than others, but I really like the people there. I'm actually a mod on the Earn a Trade Discord.
Oh wow, that's
Uh,
nice.
Yeah, me and Canadian Futures Traders popped in here, both mods there, and it's really good people. They've you know, helped me out a lot with like helping people get. I mentioned that Discord that I mean, I'm sorry, that Reddit that I run. You know, they've helped me with helping people get started with like some free learning materials and stuff like that. So it's just a good people, good company.
That's awesome. That's really good to know. Man, so yeah, Ox has a nice singing voice. I agree. You have a very nice voice. You got a good streamer voice. That's for sure.
They talk about the fact that every now and then on my streams I'll break out into song if something reminds me of a song. So
Yes. There's the entertainment factor. I do too.
yeah,
I do some weird stuff. As you know, the name's Weenie Trades, and you figured it out. I came up with the name Weenie Trades because there's a funny college story where I was doing some game on some girls, and I just said I was the weenie god, and they loved it, and then it stuck throughout college, and then yeah, it's a little bit goofy. I wonder if it hurts the YouTube algorithm, but you know, it's all fun here. That's for sure.
right, yeah.
Campbell says, I like this guy. I like this guy too.
Oh, thank you, Campbell.
Yeah. Burrell Investments, the trend has treated me well this week. Yep, the market's been on a very nice trend this week to the upside. They had the bearish like 3 hours, and then they said, okay, Apple's not hiring as fast as before. That was the excuse that they gave. The banks probably bought up all the liquidity. Boom, nice good rally. And now we're in short squeeze mode. What are your thoughts on the MES or the Nasdaq on the higher time frames, shorter time frames? Do you have any thoughts on the overall market? Like, are you actively investing? Are you not actively investing? Feel free to not answer if you don't want to either.
I mean, right now I have no extra money to invest in anything long term. You know, that's why I'm using the trying to get the funding and all that. After, you know, like I said, that whole medical issue and not being able to do anything earnings wise for almost a year. Like I'm deep in debt, so right now it's just about getting out of debt and all that. So
I want to
yeah,
go.
I
I
just
want to go Dave Ramsey on you right now. Is that okay?
sure.
What's your debt right now? Like what is it like car? Is it like a home? Is it credit card, student loans?
Yeah, well, to keep my house and stuff going and all that, I had to for that year I was down. I had to use credit cards to keep everything going. So
Yeah.
that's where all my debt is.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So and house debt is one of the best kinds of debt. I own a home as well, and yeah, that's my only debt, and so yeah, that okay. That'll just come over time, right? You'll just keep paying down the mortgage, stuff like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I rent, but I mean that's the thing. I had to make sure that I was paying the rent, keeping the
Oh, the
utilities on,
rent.
and all that, and everything, and just paying for some stuff. So that ended up piling up over time.
Oh
So
yeah, I'm sure, especially if you're not like actively working.
right. So I mean, I was lucky enough that I had the available credit to continue piling it on the credit cards, but then
Hmm.
I was getting behind on the credit cards, and it spiraled, and
Oh
so
yeah,
I'm
it
just
will.
continuing to work through that.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for answering. I was just curious because I sometimes listen to the Dave Ramsey show, and it's just always interesting to hear different people's situations and kind of just figure out the puzzle of getting to where they want to go. That's all I'm trying to do here. And as with everybody in the chat, Weenie Trades. We also like the SpongeBob theme. I'm all in puts for SPY. Okay, be careful. Manage your risk. Um, get rid of credit card debt and fake your death. Not financial advice. Although that could be a fun way of doing it. Somebody's asking live trading. I did a lot of live trades this morning. Two of the accounts, nice and green. One of the accounts, just a small little red, but a good green day whatsoever. Nonetheless, I should say. How's it going, you guys? Do we have any other questions in the chat? Hey, I'm checking out your beer money Reddit post now. Kyle E says, nice. There we go. Yeah. Wow. So moving forward, Ox, what's kind of on your mind? What are you excited for in the future?
Just continuing to become a better trader, continuing to help other people, hopefully get into this trading space and learning and letting them, helping them control their financial situations. I've always been about helping others. That's always been my,
Oh
been
yeah.
my thing. So that's something I really want to do. I've come from, a very poor background, so I know what it's like to be in poverty and all that. So I'll really love to, eventually help people, kind of rise up.
Definitely.
That's
And
my
just so
my
you
big
know,
goals.
if since you grew up in poverty or being a little bit more poor, just so you know, when you do achieve all your goals and your success and everything that you hoped for, that just makes your story all the better. Think about it. It makes the story better knowing that you came from hard times as opposed to somebody that's rich starting off and then they're successful. It's not as good of a story. So I would
Right.
say just enjoy life. Use the hand that you're dealt and just make the best of the situation. And I really like that you said helping others. I think that's the whole point of why we're on this earth. I mean, we're all here together. Why, what would be the point if we didn't help anybody? And
Exactly.
and that's
But
why
a
I
lot
think
of
it's
people,
important to stream and trade because then you can really just be a part of a community versus if you're just trading alone and not talking to anybody. It's like you may not be contributing to society as best you could be.
right? And I mean, future space doesn't seem to have a lot of streamers in it compared to like stocks and forex and crypto. So it's time to get some more.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think I think it's an untapped market that, as long as we be consistent every day, keep honing on our craft, we're going to build our communities even more.
Absolutely.
Nice. Okay. Canadian futures trader asks, has he ever traded agriculture products like corn? Have you traded corn, wheat, soy?
I've taken a couple corn trades. Of course, not like CFT, who decided to take a swing trade on corn a couple weeks back, and like 2 days later, it dropped 32 points, and he made like tens of thousands of dollars. But yeah, corn is. I do a corn every now and then. I'll do soybean oil every now and then, and I'll do lean hogs every now and then.
Oh, wow. Sounds like some fun. How do those trade? Are those a little bit more jumpy? Because it's certainly not like NASDAQ where it's as liquid and moves pretty quickly. But I bet when it jumps, it probably gets going for quite a bit, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually surprised. Corn and wheat actually can trend very well, and both of those have the same tick value as the ES does.
Oh, really? Okay.
So yeah, so they can, start moving, that you can make some money real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I don't want to trade those like on off hours though, because they often have big spreads in the off hours. So you might have to deal with a 5 to 10 tick spread, but during the day, they're very viable to trade.
Yeah, Cambo asks, how are jalapeno futures working? Is that an actual thing or what?
No, it's not, nothing that not maybe on the maybe on a different country's futures
Order
market,
canceled.
but not on the CME.
I like it when corn is popping. Yeah, not on the CME. Although that would be pretty fun. I think
By the way,
everything should be traded. What's up?
I was just gonna say, I know you said you weren't too aware about other futures funding companies.
No, I'm
So
not.
I just wanted to give a quick shout out to Canadian Futures Trader. He has an awesome website and awesome YouTube,
Really? Okay.
where he reviews almost all the different funding companies,
Let me
and
see.
he's a great resource. He's been a great help to my channel. But yeah, definitely a great resource if you're into funded futures trading companies.
That's awesome. Here's the. I'm assuming this is the channel, right? Yep, this is the channel. Wow. Yeah, the super cool stuff. Awesome channel right here. Yep, there's the reviews. So go check these out. Wow, very well done with the YouTube channel as well. I'll have to ask for some tips. Wow,
Yep, you'll
great
notice
stuff.
the
Hit
blue
subscribe.
Porsche there he bought with all from funded trading company trading.
Hit subscribe, hit the bell. Yes. 100K account day one. People love those challenge series as well. Do you guys like those challenge series? Warms your heart. Oh yeah. Thank you guys for tuning on in. Man, yeah, look at these. Got some codes. I like it. I like the background too. The mountain. Every time I've been to Canada, I've absolutely loved it. Where are you from? You can be as specific or detailed as you like, Ox. But where are you from? Are you in the U.S.? Are you out of the U.S.?
I am in the land of corn and soybeans. I'm in the middle of Illinois.
Oh, really?
But I'm originally
Nice.
from Pennsylvania.
Originally from where?
Pennsylvania.
Oh, Pennsylvania. Nice. Nice. Awesome stuff. Yeah, I'm over here chilling in Minnesota. Minnesota.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So I'm just a little bit north of you.
Yeah. Where it gets like negative 40 degrees for 6 months out of the year.
Oh yeah, I remember like in high school, I was like standing outside for the bus, and it was negative 40, and I had to wait like 30 minutes for the bus out in negative 40 degrees, and then only on the day where it went negative 55 did they cancel school, and I was like, yes.
Wow. Yeah, I was gonna say negative 40 down here, and school's canceled.
Yeah. Yosef says, "Do you trade crypto futures?" Yeah. What have you ever experienced trading crypto futures? I know there's Bitcoin and Ethereum, right?
Right. No, I haven't really messed much with crypto at all. I mean, I watch it a little bit, but I never traded the futures. Not a lot of the funding companies actually allow crypto futures. Apex does allow them, but like Earn the Trade does not.
Yeah, I've never traded them. I'd still need to get down the instrument symbol as well, which I guess is just a quick Google search away. Here we go. Cryptocurrency. Oh, interesting. Bitcoin USD. Might
Yeah,
need to populate.
for crypto, the or Bitcoin futures, it's yeah, I forget. Let's look. I have it up here. Oops.
I could hear the accent, Weenie, but don't worry, mine is worse. Can you tell me?
Really? Yeah. The symbol for futures for Bitcoin is BTC,
Okay.
and they also have a micro. It's the micro that you can trade on Apex. That's MBT.
Yeah, okay. I had pulled that up. I think I need to roll over my futures contracts. There's a video on that. That's I'll work on that another time. There's a little video for it. Okay, MBT though, for Bitcoin futures, chart of Bitcoin, pretty interesting right now. Ox, I don't know if you know, but I'm a CMT candidate, so basically I'm working to become a professional technical analyst. I did a lot of analysis back in college, and so I love just reading charts. And this Bitcoin chart looks bullish for another day or two, up to that 25K for first resistance, and then 28K for resistance 2, but still longer term in a bear market.
What's your thoughts on the fact that a lot of times it seems like Bitcoin and the NQ are almost moving in the exact same movements?
Yeah, it's kind of like risk on assets together. So that's kind of my at least thesis for the correlation. But you know, yeah, all assets bull mode, Bitcoin's in bull mode, and especially if since it's been hammered a lot more than the Nasdaq and other things that trade. You know, I think it can have some pretty sharp squeezes as well. But I think the squeezes are going to be vicious, powerful, but short-lived, kind of just like in the market. And then the downtrend will be slow. So in a normal like bull market, the uptrend's kind of slow, and then the sell-offs are a little bit more vicious sometimes. I think that's going to be the reversed role for at least probably the next year to year and a half.
Which I'm sure the whole big crypto community be upset to hear, because they're all like, it's going to be back at all-time highs within 6 months.
I know. And it's like, I hope so if you're in it, but it's like also trading is all about being as objective as possible. Like the fact that you have a bias is really bad. Like you just want to ride the trend for as long as you possibly can. And that's where my trading comes in. I'm more of a discretionary trader where if I think I'm in a good position, I'm going to hold it. I'm going to manage my risk. But for crypto, if you just believe that it's going to go up and hold it forever, that's great. Like I hope it works out. But in trading, you have to, and investing is just trading on a longer time frame. But in trading, you've got to cut your losses at some point. You've got to say, this is my uncle point. I'm going to liquidate back to cash and reevaluate. Otherwise, you know, you can get burned really bad. And I don't want anybody to get burned. I want them to be consistent until they're good enough to where they can generate profits.
Right.
Yeah, 7K Bitcoin. My target's about 13,000 on the Bitcoin. 13,000. That's where I'm going to start investing again. I pulled out of Bitcoin at 60K. I was like, okay, that's a bear flag. We're coming out. And yeah. Let's see here. My cat. Yeah, this is Parker. We've got two cats, Peter and Parker. Easy to remember, Spider-Man. Yeah, Honda Moose says, I can hear the Pennsylvanian in Ox's voice more than the Minnesotan in Weenie. Nice. Man, so, hey, do we have any last questions in the chat? It's been a great collab so far today. Any last questions? Do you have any questions for me, Ox? For the chat? Anything you want to
No.
say? Shout out?
Yep, I already shouted out CFT.
Oh yeah. Yeah, hit the
Yeah,
subscribe, hit
so
the bell, and same for your channel as well. Hit the subscribe, hit
yeah,
the bell. Type in
yep.
Mighty Ox Trading over there. Hit
I appreciate
subscribe,
that, and
subscribe
I've
over here,
been
hit the bell.
yep. I've been making sure to send people over here to check you out over the last few days as well.
Oh yeah, it's important to stay together in this trading ecosystem for sure. Yeah, go check them out. If I'm ever not streaming, Mighty Ox Trading, and maybe we'll get a stream going where we're both like trading or something like that. Black
Yeah,
Beauty Machine, you
I
did
think I
not
started
miss
earlier
this.
than you do.
You did not miss this. I'm gonna record this and put this on the Weenie Trades LLC channel. So if you guys want to watch the replay, go ahead and check it out. Yes, Ox is mighty. I agree, RJ Wheel and Yosef. Weenie, what's my trading strategy? I like to do credit spreads for swing trading, credit spreads and debit spreads in options land for swing trading. And then in terms of day trading, I am better at scalping than the core day trades. And that's kind of what we were talking about earlier, where I just realized I just don't hold long enough for the profit targets. So if I don't hold long enough for the profit targets, I've really just got to tighten up my risk on everything. And so scalping is kind of the edge that I've found trading NQ and SPY, or yeah, NASDAQ and ES. So that's kind of my strategy. Futures, the scalp trading. Sometimes I'll take some options day trades like Netflix, for example. Today I said you could defend the $200 per share on Netflix earnings, and Netflix dips right into that 200, gets a nice good 5-6% bounce. So traded some options on there. The July 22nd 210 strike call, that one's pumping right now. So I like to trade implied volatility on options, meaning if there's range contraction, I'm expecting range expansion, and that's where you want to be a buyer of options. If you've just had range expansion, there's likely going to be some range contraction, and so if you sell some credit spreads with some time, that's where you can really benefit. I do like doing the covered calls and wheel strategies where you sell a put, get assigned, okay, once I'm assigned, sell a call, collect that premium. Sometimes it doesn't work out though. I did have a losing trade doing that on CVNA, just stopped out underneath 20. And now it's interesting to see it 30% higher from here, but it is what it is. The market will tag you out. But because I manage my risk all the time, I've been able to do this for almost 6 years. So it's tricky, you know. The trading is one of the hardest things you'll ever do, but what's great about it is everything else in the world is easy compared to trading. Everything else in the world. How many days do you fluctuation do I play options? That's a really great question. So if I'm doing like a swing trade, you know, like for example, I'm going to be for a longer term swing trade, I like to do debit spreads expiring months out. If I really think I've nailed the move, I will go with the shorter expiration, but I'm going to go with the tighter stop. So it's always wide stop, longer time, tight stop, shorter time period. That's how I like to trade my options. If I'm day trading, I like to go with the weeklies as well. So like I did with Netflix, going with the weekly options, the weekly calls on the dip. Nice, good stuff. Hey, Black Beauty Machine. Like I said, you're gonna be able to see this posted. So no FOMO on the collab. You're here right now, aren't you?
And I have a feeling this might not be the last one either. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. There'll be more in the future. Yeah, just let me know what day would work best for you. We can get on going. I have the best questions, said in Trump.
So all that stuff you just said about options, the one thing that's still I've never grasped at all, so I don't understand any of it.
Oh,
It's like I tried to start learning it, and I'm like, and then we got to all stuff about Greeks and decay, and I'm like,
I
you know
mean,
what? I think I need to stay away from that.
So here's the thing. What I'll say to that: no, you don't need to trade options. No, you don't need to learn them in depth and crazy as I do. But I will say it'll help your futures trading because I know the ranges at every moment in time, and I know if the range is priced in or not priced in. So I've got a really good idea of what the market's going to do because of the options market. For example, I know that if there's a lot of open interest in calls on the SPY open at the 390 strike, the longer that we stay above 390 and we're at the edge of the expected move, that can cause a gamma squeeze. And so I'm able to anticipate a sharp rally like this. I didn't trade it perfectly in terms of today, but yesterday as well, if there's a lot of call options or options at a certain level and the market just won't mean revert or come back to the mean, that's where you can get those huge gamma squeezes. So I think understanding options is really important to just help understand at least the ranges and know where you're looking for your entries and your futures. And so I mean, you don't need to become an options expert if you're never going to trade them, but it is very helpful to know that, okay, SPY from now until the end of the day has a $2.50 move. That means if SPY goes up $2.50 from here, you can start building a little short position and likely make some money. Conversely, if SPY sells off to like 393 or 392, I'm going to start building a long position because we're pushing to the edge of the expected move today. And so it's really cool to just understand where we're at in terms of the context of the market.
Interesting. That's very interesting.
Oh yeah,
there's I never realized how much they helped.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of stuff I'd be more than happy to teach you, and you can teach that to any of your subscribers or anybody hanging out. It's really important. Burrell
Awesome.
Investment says, I'd like to have Weenie and Ox on my podcast at some point, around 200 listeners. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'd be more than happy to. I'm all about the collaborations, talking and meeting with new people. Yeah, Black Beauty Machine says, I kill spreads because of Weenie. Yeah, it's super cool because when you do an option spread, you choose where you think the market will go, and then you can collect a credit on where you think the market won't go. So in that same example of SPY, if it's got a $2.50 expected move, I can like buy like the 395 put if I'm bearish or something. And then I could do something like sell the 392 put and collect a credit. That way, if SPY sells off and then starts to bounce off that 392, I took the best trade possible. So if you can anticipate when a stock or an ETF in this case is going to move and how far it's going to move, you can use a lot less capital. Like I have tons of trades where I do $10 into $100. I got tons of trades where I got $30 into $100. Sometimes it's a one-to-one where it's risking 50 to make 50, but understanding your time frame and how far it can move and where the support and resistances are, you become really efficient with your capital. Like for 2020 and 2021, I was able to make a living just trading off of $10,000, but I was very efficient with the capital on each and every trade. And that's the kind of another whole point of Weenie Trades is just be as efficient as possible. And I've enjoyed transferring that into futures trading as well. And just keep on working on the edge. That's for sure.
Definitely sounds interesting, and definitely sounds like something I need to work on learning.
Oh yeah, I'll send you some stuff if you're interested. I mean, I don't want
Absolutely.
To force you to do anything, but
I'm always
cool.
looking to learn more.
Oh yeah, lots of fun stuff. All right, you guys. Hey, do we have any last questions, comments, funny jokes? I think we answered all the questions, right?
I think so.
Well, if so, hey, Ox, it was a pleasure to have you on stream.
Happy to be here. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's always good to meet new people. The chat loved you. I love you. You know, we're meeting lots of new people. Let's get ready to do it again some other time.
I definitely agree. We'll have to do this in the future.
Nice. All right. Well, I'm going to be signing off. I'm going to stream for maybe like 11 more minutes, answer any last questions, whether it be market related, stock related, and then I'm going to be on my merry way.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, take care, Ox. Thanks for tuning
You
on
too.
in. All right. Peace.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.